So we're here in Richard Marr's Red Hook, New York studio in the Hudson Valley. And we're in the midst of self isolation in the time of Corona. And I thought it might be fun to see what Richard is working on and talk to him about making paintings in this very strange time. Hi, Richard.
Hello.
So, you can certainly talk to us a little bit about this painting you're standing next to, but first, how has it been making art in this strange and crazy time? I mean, you're finding more time in the studio as a result of self isolation. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, this is the most longest period of painting I've had since I was in my 20s. I have more time, and this is a tailor-made activity for the coronavirus because I'm alone with my thoughts, which have been quite expanded because of this situation. So, ironically, I'm finding it a very positive experience. I'm able to work through issues in my painting that I probably would have stumbled on in the past.
Right, because your time prior to this was very incremental, the amount of time you could spend in the studio because you're in the office and you have your work life. And now that you're upstate all the time, you have all of this time to come into the
There's
studio.
a confluence of reasons. One is what you say, I'm just here more instead of in New Jersey. Second, uh, I work from 8 till about 4:30, and then I've got the whole evening.
Right,
So I go for a nice walk in the woods to clear my head out, and then I come here. And
right.
I do that on the weekdays, and then on the weekends I have more time. So that's one reason. The other is that I really am more focused now. Maybe there's a momentum that's building because I've been here continuously for a while. But I think also other things have fallen away in my mind as being important, and what's left are the really critical things in my life and in the life of society, I think. I think in the past I thought, oh, my art is going to change the world. Now I realize, no, my art is something that I have to do. Uh, and if everybody does what they have to do in the world will be a better place.
Mm. So, yeah, so we're upstate and you're taking walks and you're walking in the mountains and then coming back to the studio and painting waves. Can you talk to us a little bit about what I think is maybe one of the best paintings you've ever done?
So, as you know, in 2017, I did a large performance with a 12 by 18-foot painting that was made of pieces of canvas, and there was sound to it and so forth.
That was a Sea Change.
Sea change. And, I think that was an effective uh, installation and performance, but the painting itself wasn't that great. I mean, I've been learning how to, and teaching myself how to paint water, which really came because the sailing paintings that I did about 10 or 12 years ago, when I was doing the paintings of the sailboat and looking out, the water itself became something interesting to me. And so I disbanded the sailboat and I just started painting water. But it's not easy to paint water, but there's something very attractive to me about the fluidity of the water combined with the fluidity of the paint. And as I said, it's not easy, but the more you can use the paint to mimic the liquidity or the fluidity and the viscosity of the water and make the painting look effective, the more I sort of lose myself in the process of painting. And so I think I'm finally doing that now. Here, I've got about 8 canvases going. Many of these are the old canvases from the installation from 3 years ago
Right.
that I'm just covering over again. What I'm also finding is when you have a blank canvas, it's a little harder because you have a blank canvas. When you're covering over a previously painted canvas, you don't look at the image that you're painting so much. You look at the image that's in your head, and you just imagine where the paint is going to go, and eventually you've covered the old canvas. And so that's a very quick process for me. It's very loose. Then I leave these loose canvases around, and I start picking one of them up at a time, and I go back in and add detail. And what I find is that the composition sort of takes care of itself if I can do that.
Yeah.
I'm not sort of second guessing everything that I do.
You know, I love what you just said about getting lost in doing this work. You know, and at a time like this, human beings who have something to do, to a passion, a hobby, or a calling, whatever it is, that can be the medicine that we need in these strange times. And so I love it that you're able to come into the studio and sort of lose yourself and find your art here, which is really, really wonderful. And I certainly love coming and visiting you and seeing what you're working on, because it's pretty extraordinary when I look around here and see all of these canvases that you're working on at the same time. That's wildly exciting to me, that you're just not focused on one canvas, you're focused on lots of canvases. And the work is really exciting. It's really great. So thank you for chatting with me this afternoon, and I'm going to leave you to do some more painting, to get into the work and get lost for the rest of the day before you come home later for dinner. Okay? Love you, honey. Bye.